I do know and what I do remember is that living wasn't easy at all. But suicide wasn't the answer.
हूँ बेनकाब चेहरे हैं, दाग बड़े गहरे हैं, टूटता तिलस्म आज सच से भय खाता हूँ, गीत नहीं गाता हूँ, गीत नहीं गाता।
My dad had a cervical spine surgery back in 2011. मुझे आज भी याद है, उनको फरवरी मंथ के लास्ट में घर वापस लेकर आए थे, and everyone would tell me that this is the end of the darkest phase, Vaibhav. Dark phase अब खत्म हो चुका है, but I knew that this is just the beginning of the darkest phase of my life. मुझे आज भी याद है, back in those days, जब मैं रात में सोने जाता था, I would feel so tired. I would feel so exhausted. मुझे बिल्कुल नींद नहीं आती थी. मैं पूरी रात भर सिर्फ करवट बदलता रहता था, क्योंकि मेरे सामने सिर्फ एक ही तस्वीर आती थी, गाजियाबाद स्टेशन का वो नज़ारा जो मैं कभी नहीं भूल पाता था, जो मेरे और मेरे डैड के साथ हुआ. We knew that my dad had spondylitis. मेरे कज़न सिस्टर की वेडिंग थी जो हम अटेंड करके वापस आ रहे थे. My dad never wanted to come back traveling in गोमती एक्सप्रेस. ये मेरा डिसीजन था. मैंने गोमती एक्सप्रेस में टिकट करवाया था और हम वहाँ से वापस आ रहे थे. मेरे छोटे मामा ने मेरे को बोला था कि हम लोग गाजियाबाद पहुँच कर वहाँ से टैक्सी ले रहे हैं. आई टॉक टू माई फादर, लेकिन मेरे डैड ने सभी डैड्स की तरह बोला कि नहीं, आई एम फाइन और सब कुछ नॉर्मल है, तो हम लोग बस से ही जाएंगे. बट वो फैसला मेरे को लेना था, एंड आई डिसाइडेड कि ठीक है, सब कुछ ठीक है और हम लोग बस से ही जाते हैं. द नेक्स्ट थिंग आई रिमेंबर, हम लोग गाजियाबाद स्टेशन के ओवरब्रिज पर थे और कहीं से बहुत सारी भीड़ आ गई. मैंने अपने पापा का हाथ पकड़ रखा था जो उस भीड़ की वजह से छूट गया, और सब लोग हमारे ऊपर से चढ़ के निकल रहे हैं. सब लोग मेरे पापा के ऊपर से चढ़ के निकल रहे हैं. एंड आई डोंट नो, आई हैव गॉट नो क्लू हाउ टू स्टॉप दोज गाइज. आई वुड ब्लेम माई सेल्फ कंटिन्यूसली हर रात को, एंड फील सो सफोकेटेड दैट मेरे फादर की जो हेल्थ इतनी बुरी हुई, that has got something to do with the decision that I made that night. और ये सिर्फ रात की बात नहीं थी. This was just the beginning. मेरे sleepless nights was just the beginning. In the day as well, I would watch my father. He cannot walk on his own. He cannot do his daily jobs. I know how much I love my mother, and I don't remember my mother smiling back in those days. For those who know me, they know that how much I love my sister, and I don't remember my sister laughing back in those days. And I've got only myself to blame for all the miseries and all the pain. I would put so much pressure on myself. I would look around myself at my cousins, and I would see them that they were doing exceptionally well for themselves. I've got a very big family. From my father's end, from my mother's end, कुछ cousins मेरे इतने बड़े हैं, हमें age difference इतना ज़्यादा है. They were getting married when I was so young, जब मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि marriage का मतलब क्या होता है. But those who were connected with me, they were doing exceptionally well for themselves. One was sailing around the world. The other one, who was my superhero when I was a kid, in my childhood, he was a superhero to me. I would copy him. He just did his engineering from an NIT and now was working in a Spanish multinational company. One of my sister just did her MBA and was working in a top automobile company in India. And here I was. मैंने अपनी 12th कैसे करी ये बताते हुए भी मुझे बहुत शर्म महसूस होती है. My mind would ask me questions that were of, do you have any achievements? And I would say no. Do you have any money? And I would say no. Do you see yourself making money in future? And I would say no. The only moments of happiness, the only moment when I was happy was when I was with my friends. I had this amazing group of friends, amazing people. To name a few of them, Deepak, Sankalp Bhaiya, Pihu, Apoorv, Chotu, amazing people. But this was the worst phase of my life. So things won't be so easy and things won't be so normal, right? On this hot day in June, early in the morning, by my standards, which is 9 o'clock, I have this amazing group of friends right behind me, right by my side. And by the 9 in the night, I've got just one friend. कुछ मिस कॉन्वर्सेशंस, किसकी गलती क्या, उन सब में पढ़ते ही नहीं हैं. I've got nothing other than one friend. He was my friend, I don't know why. Maybe because of the family relations that we had. उसकी वजह से, I was not sure. But now I would feel even more lonely. I would feel even more empty and even more worthless. My mind that was asking me questions was now giving me answers. That Vaibhav, you're nothing but a curse to your family, and every single man and woman you know. Yes, I realized that my only achievement was that I had this ability to wipe off smiles of the faces of people who were family to me. I see people posting insomnia, they find it very cool because they're awake till 3 or 4 in the night and they post insomnia, experiencing insomnia. I pray to God and wish that you never experience what insomnia is. Because I would still go to sleep and fall asleep, definitely fall asleep. लेकिन अब मैं जब सोने जाता था तो मैं जितना थका हुआ होता था, जब सुबह उठता था तब उससे भी ज़्यादा थका हुआ होता था. Why? Because I would fall asleep but still I would feel that I was awake. My mind would continuously keep talking to me. मैं लगातार, मुझे जैसा ध्यान है, मैं सिर्फ एक ही सपना देखता था that everything was fine. My father was well, he was walking, he was doing his things normally. And I'm running to tell all of this to Pihu. That's it. I would convince myself that Vaibhav, last time when we saw the clock, it was 4 in the night and now it is 7:30. There is no way that you were talking to yourself for so long. You had slept. I would have to convince myself. Trust me. I hated going to college. मुझे कॉलेज जाना बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद था. इनफैक्ट मुझे अब घर से बाहर निकलना ही अच्छा नहीं लगता था. On road, my thoughts would get even more ugly. I would look at a truck or any heavy vehicle and I would feel like that this is my moment and I can end everything, all my miseries, all my pain. But I never did it. I had fallen from that cliff, feeling that drowning in the sea would be more easy. But I never did it. Why? Because someone came and held my hand so strongly that he wouldn't let go of me at any cost. During this whole time, I never realized that there was something that I was doing good. I was doing something which was correct in a way to help myself. But I never knew about it. My friend, the only friend that I was left with, Deepak Sharma, I would tell him everything. I still remember, मैं पहली बार जब सो नहीं पाया था, मैं उसके घर गया, we were standing, हम लोग उसकी छत पे खड़े हुए थे, रेलिंग के पास, and I told him कि मुझे बिल्कुल नींद नहीं आई. मैं बिल्कुल नहीं सोया दीपक. And he told me, he replied that I knew that you won't be able to sleep. Given the things, the circumstances that you are in, I knew that you won't be able to sleep. अगर तूने मुझे ये बोला होता कि तू सो गया था, then I would have been surprised. And now finally, I'm feeling relaxed. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि कोई तो है जो मेरे को समझ पा रहा है. He's understanding my feelings and he's not telling me that ये तूने बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं किया, तेरे को अपनी हेल्थ के बारे में सोचना चाहिए था, फैमिली के बारे में सोचना चाहिए था. Then I have this ample amount of faith in this guy. तो मैंने उसको पूछा कि भाई what should I do now? Then he replied that first of all it is very important, Vaibhav, that you make peace with time and things that are happening to you and your family. अपने आसपास के माहौल, अपने circumstances के साथ peace बनाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. And you need to give time to these things. Things would turn around for good sooner or later, but they would, trust me. उसने मुझे वही बात बोली कि कुछ जख्म हैं वैभव जो समय के साथ ही भरेंगे और तुझे भरोसा रखना होगा. Now it was not something that like he told me and in this moment everything was all right. No, not at all. Well, I would tell him everything, whatever I was going through, every feeling honestly. He would keep me engaged in things. He would not allow me to feel alone. He would spend time with me. He would take me away for long bike rides, जिसको वो बोलता था कि आओ वाजपेयी जी तुमको ताबड़तोड़ घुमा के लेकर आते हैं. हम जाते थे, मैंगो शेक्स पीते थे. I know that he never liked junk foods, he never liked soft drinks. लेकिन वो सिर्फ मेरे लिए मैकडॉनल्ड्स में बर्गर खाता था. मुझे खूब गालियां देता था लेकिन खाता था. He would watch movie with me. हमने टीवी सीरियल्स देखे साथ में. And he would spend ample amount of time with me. Back in those days, meanwhile, I developed a habit. I redeveloped my love for sports and I started following football. I would keep myself engaged in football, reading about clubs, and the club that I followed was Arsenal because my childhood hero, Asim Bajpayee, was an Arsenal fan. Trust me, don't do that. Do not follow Arsenal. People would tell you that Arteta aa gaya hai and things would change now. They won't. Trust me, if there is a Spanish guy who's your manager and he's got hair on his head, he's not good enough. Jokes apart, I'm not trying to portray myself as a mental health expert here. Trust me. Because, to be honest, I don't know what happened to me was depression or a sad state of mind, bad state of mind, mental health खराब था, I don't know, or I was just a sad, weak or naive kid as society would call me. Trust me, I don't know. But what I do know and what I do remember is that living wasn't easy at all. But suicide wasn't the answer. It was never the answer to my miseries, to my problem. So take my word. If you are a friend of anyone जो आपको लगता है कि जिसने मेरे जैसे circumstances face किए हैं या कर रहा है, then trust me, talk to him. उससे बात करो, उसकी feelings को समझो और उसको convince करो. And if you are that guy who's feeling down, who's feeling depressed, then first of all, accept who you are. अपने आप को कबूल करो, accept who you are, and make peace with time and things that are happening around you. Talk about your feelings. There is nothing bad in that. You must talk about your feelings. Keep yourself active and engaged. And again, this warning, which is a joke, but very seriously, do not follow Arsenal. And ask for help. There is इसमें कोई शर्म की बात नहीं है अगर आप मदद मांगते हैं. I don't remember how many times I have asked for help from my cousins. मैंने पिंकी दीदी, मिक्कू भैया से पता नहीं कितनी बार मदद मांगी होगी. I don't remember how many times I've asked for help from Gaurav Dixit, who was sailing around the world. Yes, the same cousin. They all love me. They've all been very caring and very supportive. But all I needed was time to realize all this. और सबसे आखिरी बात जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, keep the faith. क्या हार में क्या जीत में, किंचित नहीं भयभीत में, कर्तव्य पथ पर जो भी मिले, यह भी सही वो भी सही, वरदान नहीं मांगूंगा, हो कुछ भी, पर हार नहीं मानूंगा. Trust me, suicide is not the answer. You are precious, your life is precious. My name is Vaibhav Bajpayee and this is my story. Thank you so much.
टूटे हुए सपने की सुने कौन सिसकी, अंतर को चीर व्यथा पलकों पर ठिठकी, हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा, काल के कपाल पर लिखता मिटाता हूँ, गीत नया गाता हूँ.